Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste, and a very warm welcome to all of you to the Blub World Web Talks 265th episode. In the last 264 episodes, we have talked to, interacted with more than 5,000 school leaders on this very platform where they've shared their ideas, opinions, innovation, and what all new are they doing in the education space. तो नमस्कार, आप सभी का स्वागत है ब्लब वर्ल्ड वेब टॉक्स के 265वें एपिसोड में। पिछले 264 एपिसोड में हमने करीबन 5,000 से ज्यादा शिक्षाविदों से बातचीत की और उनसे ये जानने की कोशिश की कि वो शिक्षा को कैसे बदल रहे हैं और शिक्षा उन्हें कैसे बदल रही है। So in the next 40 to 50 minutes that you are there with us, we'll again talk of an interesting aspect of education today, as well as some amazing speakers with us, including people with a background in higher education, people from school education, and most essential part of all of these conversations, teenagers. We'll try to know from them what do they think on today's topic. Before we start the session, this particular session of Blub World Web Talks is a bilingual session. So you can use English or Hindi, any of these two languages in the whole conversation, because bhasha kabhi bhi gyan ka paimana nahi hota. It's never the measure for your knowledge or your ideas. That idea is far more important than the language that you might be using. So stay comfortable, relax, chill, enjoy the whole session. Secondly, and the most important thing that might add a little stress, but don't stress, the Blub World Web Talks is like a speaking sprint. It's not a speaking marathon. So the speaking time is limited. And once your speaking time is over, you might get muted. If you get muted, please don't get offended. It's just to keep the activity crisp and entertaining for everyone. And don't worry, if you forget something, there's an open floor at the end and we can again cover that. Whenever your speaking time is coming to an end and the final 30 seconds are left, Blub World will raise their hand up in the air like this. So when you see Blub World profile's hand up in the air, it means the final 30 seconds are there to conclude. And even if you then don't conclude, I'll put both my hands up in the air. That again means, time to conclude the session so that we can move to the next speaker. I hope you are able to understand the format of the session. Let's keep it crisp. Let's keep it entertaining for anyone who tunes in and wants to listen to the conversation. Today, we'll be talking about something that now impacts the life of nearly everyone. We cannot say only children. We cannot say adults. Anyone and everyone who's on the internet faces this. And in some or the other way, to some or the other extent, to some or the other tune, depending on, their role in the society, their profession, all of this impacts, and everyone has their own story to tell. So let's see what we do talk about today, that how to report cyberbullying and online harassment in India. Our focus is towards teenagers. We'll try to, talk of how can students do this. But again, all the adults also can share their opinions on this. And let's try to know what are the experiences that you might have had and what are the things that you can give to the world so that they are better informed when using the internet. So let me invite the first speaker for today to set the ball rolling to start this conversation today. A very warm welcome to Mr. Deepu Krishna, who is the head of admissions and outreach for BITS Law School from Mumbai, Maharashtra. Deepuji, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and a very warm welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Warm good evening to each one of my co-panelists. Let me just get to the topic. This is one of those topics which was in its growing stage when I was completing my law graduation. And I remember during our time, there used to be a social media platform called as Orkut. And Facebook had just, launched itself. And I remember we were just transitioning from Orkut to Facebook. And then there was one of our friend who came and who gave us this idea. It was not a friend, it was our senior who said, do you know the history behind Facebook? We said, no, we don't know. He said, it was basically started as a bullying thing. It was basically started to bully girls, rank girls, because Mr. Zuckerberg had that idea. But then he converted, as in the Wilkin-Voss brothers, they were the ones who gave him that idea. And then he created it into what you call as the most famous social media platform today. So at some point of time, each one of us might have faced what you call as cyberbullying, cyber harassment, etc., etc. Now, I remember Amitabh Bachchan coming out with, I happened to attend one of the lectures where he was also speaking on the same, and he was saying, when it's an open forum and when I'm speaking, there are people who would ask me questions one-on-one and I'm able to answer it to them. But online, someone who comes and just pops in a question to me, which is very uncomfortable, I don't know whether to answer it or not, because to answer, I should know the intent of the person, a of the person. Now, internet as a space gives you that kind of a liberty, which is the most dangerous part of it. And hence, he also said the best part is to save your privacy. The more private you are, the less bullying and harassment you are exhibiting to yourself. Then I remember a case which was taught to us in law school about private and public personalities. And it was very clear in that case that if you make things public, you are opening yourself to the public, and there can be instances of harassment as well as bullying from the public. Where if you go to the court, also the court may give you a relief, but it is very clear on one thing that you know you have to come to the court also with clean hands. If you yourself are making things public and there are people who are creating a fuss, as in trolls, now you have a name which you have given to the bullying, trolling, etc. But then if you yourself are for example, the public personalities of Bollywood, showbiz, etc., the recent controversy connected to Mr. Arjun Kapoor, we all know that, the way he is getting trolled and the way the trend goes on. I think the students here already understand what I'm saying, that all trends are coming to the fore because somewhere you are exposing yourself in such a manner in front of the public, where then the public will come and run behind them. And most of these people are not people with real life faces. They're all what you call as, in our in a civilized society, we will call them as cowards, who have fake accounts, and who are behind you, and who are keeping, or who are pushing you to that limit where you lose yourself. One of those things which you have to protect even before you go and report these things is start keeping things private. You will see that more and more public personalities have started keeping things private. Reporting, absolutely. There is a law mechanism for it, where there is a website also where a student can go. Very recently, we had a very dangerous, AI tool through which you can upload any image, and all of a sudden, the person's clothes go away. The person is stark nude in front of you. Even for that, also, all the social media platforms have come up together, and they have created a reporting agency where if you report it, they will remove that image from the entire internet. So that's the mechanism. I think we'll talk again. I've already seen the hand raise, so I'll just summarize it here. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Deepu sir, for initiating the conversation in the most apt manner. And you're very right that the way AI is giving capabilities to people with no faces, that's the real challenge that we're talking about. Facebook as a platform, the premise of it really starts from bullying. And as a human society, we have to understand whether we might hate our vices, but our behavior loves it. Because innately, we are those humans that have those vices. And they come in their, most flourished format on the internet, and we're not able to deal with it. We call them trolls, we define them in whichever way we want to, but the challenge remains the same. Can we really improve the human behavior? Because at the end of the day, what we are seeing right now is basically a fight between the uncivilized and the civilized, and where the advantage is with the uncivilized. So you'll have to figure out more ways of dealing with it. But thank you so much, Deepu sir, for opening it as bare as this for anyone to add more to the conversation. Let me invite the next speaker for today. Now it's time to really listen to the school leaders. What do they think about it? Because they see a very different picture in their school when they're talking to parents, when they're talking to kids. They see a very different version of all of this. So let's hear their part of the story. What do they really think about it? A very warm welcome to Mr. Arup Haldar, who's the Vice Principal for Narayana School, Kolkata, West Bengal. Arup over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself, and a very warm welcome.
Good evening, everyone, and good evening to fellow principals. Good evening to the moderator, and good evening to the dear students. Like today, we are going to speak on a topic which is very common to our daily life. That is, nowadays, we are almost one third part of our daily life into the internet, and there lies the challenge of all good things and the bad things. Now, before I talk about the main topic, that is how to report about cyberbullying and harassment, in Indian circumstances, I will go back to a little previous age. Like when we were small, we used to learn English proverbs. And there, a very important proverb is prevention is better than cure. So before we go into curing, if we can form some prevention and privacy, if we learn about the ifs and buts, the pros and cons of the apps we are using before using it a little bit, it would be very useful for us to know the ways of using it. And hence, we are able to make it more private. We need to know about the settings and all. So by this way, we can make it more private and allow us to help us to get the points very clear to us that we are not oversharing. We are not over giving information to the outside world. Now, when we come to this topic, first of all, we are advancing with AI and a lot of technology, and hence the cyberbullying coming often. Every now and then, this kind of thing. And even, it's very tough to trust anyone, even known faces, because whether their proxy things are created or not. So in this regard, I'll just point some steps which we follow in school or we are generally following is that first of all, we as educators, we as parents, we have to be very open-minded. That if the child or the student comes with like this issue, you should not be just saying that, no, why are you using it or why. We have to understand, we have to be open to their situation, what they are facing. All this. Second thing we'll have to go for that there are a lot of settings in this Facebook, Instagram, and all where the settings can change all the privacy. Third thing, how we report if it is going beyond, then the Indian government have created the cybercrime.gov.in, which is a very popular website where we can put it. And finally, the police helpline and all. And even in the BNS, the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhati, there a lot of laws are there which are prevalent, which we can use to get rid of this cyberbullying and harassment. So first of all, to sum up the whole thing, I would like to say first we have to be careful. And yes, because this world is vast, this AI and the social networking is vast, there are chances that we get into trouble. And there are ways. We need to know one thing that the law is with us, provided we have taken our steps in a proper way.
Thank you so much, Arubji. We'll have to be far more open when we talk about all of these with students. When they bring in complaints, we'll have to give them an ear and listen to them, rather, try to give them solutions, because all of us get an update at the end of the week that what was your average screen time on your phone. And when we look at it, there is a lot of regret that comes from inside. Now, when that regret comes from inside, just imagine a situation where a generation does not feel regret with it and they get cyberbullied. The situation flips. Think of a situation where they're born in it. They don't feel bad by being over there and they face an unfair disadvantage. You talked about a very important aspect of this that we'll be talking even further, the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, the BNS, that typically now replaces the Indian Penal Code in India. बट एक बड़ा अच्छा सा शेर याद आता है इस पॉइंट पे, पता नहीं कहना चाहिए कि नहीं, बट लेकिन हाँ, दुष्यंत कुमार ने कहा था कि साहब कहाँ तो तय था चरागा हर एक घर के लिए, कहाँ चराग मयसर नहीं शहर के लिए। कि जब हम कानून लिखते हैं तो लिखने में तो हर किसी के लिए सारी व्यवस्था होती है, लेकिन होने में बहुत डिफिकल्टी होती है, बिकॉज इफ यू फेस अ साइबर क्राइम इन इंडिया, it's very difficult to put in a complaint, reach the right people, and get it sorted. It's a very complex process. We'll try to know it further, what the experts have to say. Whatever I said is just an opinion, some food for thought. Let's take the conversation ahead. Let me know the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Dr. Ashim Roy, the principal of Sunshine International School from Behrampur, West Bengal. Ashim, sir, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and a very warm welcome.
Good evening, one and all present here. Good evening to moderator, students, edu leaders, principals. Namaste to each and everyone present here. First of all, as I have heard the last two speakers spoke about the threat that are literally bothering us in this 21st century, where we have seen that the children, particularly the teenagers, they are more prone towards the screen time. So they are using nowadays, they are maximizing their time, whatever, which is not about the regular habits. It has become uh, day-to-day task for them. Even a single problem they come across, they try to get it through these IT gadgets. So first, the first thing is, let me categorize the different types of those cyber bullying or stalking that or we may come across. So number one is cyber stalking, or getting repeated unwanted contacts. These are basically when a person gets repeated message, calls, tracking location, and sending unwanted gifts or threats. It could be in the form of email as well. In those cases, normally our first solution could be, we can block the users, we can take some screenshots, and we need to file the complaints directly to the police station, and they will track those using an IP address, and they can proceed further as per the legal process. Next is like non-sensual sharing, which is also said as NCII. This actually comes under the IT Act of Section 67 and 67A. This is basically towards the woman and the child related crime. This is particularly focused towards the woman and child related crime, and these are because we have different divisions to take care of each and every cases, whether it is a child related cases, whether it's a woman related cases, whether it's a adult related cases. We have got different divisions and diversions to take things forward. Next is like online abuse. This is a very common thing which you can find. It's an online abusive DMs you can get, which it can be in the form of like different caste, religion, sexuality based hate, murder, threats. So these are the different things which you may see in a now day-to-day life. Then what our previous told, that we can directly report this to the cybercrime.gov.in. This is the best and the only portal where we can log in and we can file a immediate effect. Now, that to have a proper safeguard, we need to take the screenshot, because this is very important proof, where this will help us to take things forward and get the optimal solution at the very early possible way. And sometimes, sir has also said that regarding the fake profiles, that this is also a common habit these days, because someone else is indicating that he is okay. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And the last line which I would like to say, that your child should not suffer in silence. Let he or she should come up and open his mouth, because we are there to take things, because there are different verticals are there to take things forward. So nothing to worry about, but you open your mouth rather than keeping silent. This is what I would say and would like to wind up. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Asim sir, for giving us such a detailed information about some of the enactments, the way they can be used, the way somebody can go and typically report if they face a cyber crime. You're very right that let not a child at least suffer in silence. If you face something like this, start the conversation, start talking about it, either to the parents or to your teachers. Find an adult around you who you think is a safe adult and have a conversation with them. You also mentioned the way the law segregates, crimes against children, and how, non-consensual sharing of content, fake profiles, typically getting bad DMs, everything, falls in certain category of a crime. While knowing all of this is superbly critical and important for a teenager, it's far more important with what you concluded with, starting that conversation. You might know, because, I think Deepuji would might be able to second me on this. When anyone studies the law, a lot of professors mention this a lot, that the young man knows the laws, the old man knows the exceptions. And the problem is the law really works on exceptions. That's the way it happens. So we will have to also give them a view of the paradox that comes in with litigation. Thank you so much, Asim. Sir, let me invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Ms. Bidwan Mala Gupta, who's the principal of Orchids, the International School from Kolkata, West Bengal. Ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes and a very warm welcome.
Good evening, everybody. My esteemed co-speakers here and the kids who are there who are also listening to us. We are all speaking about them. When we speak of cyberbullying, to me as a school principal, the first thing starts with awareness. Let the child be aware, let the teen be aware that it falls under bullying. They are being bullied. It is not that they should be keeping quiet and bearing it off. And these activities, as school leaders, we should be taking up. Like in our school, we always have regular workshops from the cybercrime team of state government. They are coming and they have made such nice comic books where they explain what exactly is a crime and how you go ahead. And they are distributing it free for free to the children who go home and tell their parents. So the first step starts making them aware. Then the second step starts with once somebody comes to you, don't ask why, how. The answer should be don't worry, what's next? This should be our attitude to speak with them. We put all the helpline numbers like 1930 is the cybercrime helpline, 1098 is the child helpline, 181 is the women's helpline, everywhere in our corridors. But are our children aware that they can use it? That's what we need to do as leaders. Tell them, come forward, we are there to speak. Now, coming about law website, I will just give a small tip in this. Yes, everybody is telling cybercrime.gov.in is the website. But when a girl child or a female goes and lodges the same complaint, it becomes a SOS case. So there they get the support immediately. Our children cannot be taken out of this cyber world because this is their world. They have to stay there. The only thing, the pros, the cons, the red flags that we have to tell them, and the change in the attitude in we grown ups. They can get trapped. We should be there to help them, not ask them why are you trapped, because it's a part of the system, part of their life they are leading. Then rest are there. You can approach the police station also. And one more thing, the cyber cell, the people sitting in the cyber cell of the police station are a bit different from the regular police of whom general citizen is scared of. They are educated in this world. They speak in the language understood by these kids. When they approach them, when the teenagers approach them, they know how to handle it. They know how to trace. So beyond boundaries, beyond any physical boundary of nation, we can go ahead always to lodge a complaint with our head held high. Okay, this has happened to me. Please give me an assistance. This is what, as school leaders, we should be always standing behind our children and motivating them to go ahead. With this, I would like to say we all are a part of the same system, same world. We need to upgrade ourselves, understand what is right. We need to educate ourselves. Okay, this happens, and this is how we help them out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think the most important element that we can take from that and move ahead in the conversation while taking it is when a child comes to you, approaches you for a conversation, don't start an investigation. Start with reassurance. Talk to them, give them the confidence that okay, you come to me. I am a safe individual. I'll take care of you during this whole crisis that you might be facing. When you give them all the information through comics, through all the display boards, that these are the helplines, this is the website. Still remember, most of the crimes across most of the nations on the face of this earth go unreported. Just having the confidence of bringing out a complaint and then really, pointing a finger towards an individual, that's not the confidence that all humans have everywhere. And essentially, when it's a child, it's far more difficult. So that reassurance will work far more than a deep, thorough investigation with the child who might have come to you for a conversation. Thank you so much, ma'am. Let me invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Miss Deepa Vijay Rangan, the principal of Texas International Academy from Hyderabad, Telangana, India. Deepa, ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and a very warm welcome.
So, no, I completely agree with Ms. Salunke. So, let me just start in terms of, agreeing where ma'am had rightly, left the point. So, recently there was a case in Hyderabad where, a 19-year-old child was offered what looked like a dream job to go abroad, and he traveled only to discover that he has been trapped in a cyber slavery, wherein his passport, his phone, everything was taken. He was forced to create online profiles, blackmail people, run sex extortion, scamming, and terrifying. And after he's been into all this terrifying ordeal, what he planned was, very brave enough to come out of that thing, and he contacted the Indian embassy. And today, Telangana Cyber Security Bureau is investigating that network that has exploited him. So, my reason of bringing this story is there are many kids who are out there searching for jobs in the internet during their teens. There are many people who are searching for information, wherein their contact numbers are asked, their profile, their mail IDs are asked. So when you are giving such information to certain sites, it's always better to check the background of the websites to be sure whether your information is safe. Are you giving the information to the right people? So these are the certain things that we could ensure where our information is private, as rightly said by Dr. Ashim. So collecting the screenshots after you have done with such ordeal and reporting is also as important as dealing with it and coming out, because most of the time when a person undergoes such kind of ordeal in their life, they think it is too shaming to come out and inform to the public. They think, I'm lacking some intelligence, because of which I have gone through such incidents, and maybe if I come out and say, everybody will think that I lack an intelligence, or I'm not good enough to understand whether this is right or wrong. So cyberbullying thrives in silence, actually. So reporting is a first thing one has to come up and do. And reporting is not a weakness in a person, is actually reclaiming your dignity. So in that thought, what I would like to say is, as an educator, it's our duty to bring the awareness in students in terms of reporting, in terms of listening to their ordeal, in terms of making it, I would not say make a private event public, but definitely make it as an example for others, so that they don't fall into the same scenario again. And how quickly this digital abuse can become ordeal for a young child to break his or her confidence is one of the story we just witnessed in Hyderabad. So if I have to say, never stay silent. This cycle will continue only if we don't speak up, and if we can protect ourselves and the rest of the people, then it's always, that becomes one of, just like an army man protects India, it's as equivalent to you protecting your generation too. So never say style, and that's all I have to say for today. Thank you.
Thank you
for
so
the
much,
opportunity.
Deepa, ma'am. Don't stay silent. It's very important that you come up, start a conversation, report things if things are happening with you. And yes, the way you mentioned that story from Hyderabad where a boy got stuck in a cyber crime racket sort of a thing, that's something that's happening now at scale, because these are incidents that are coming across different cities from India. People being sent out to countries like Myanmar, where this is happening on a I can say on an industrial basis now. So we have to be very careful when you're, reaching out to people online. Verify whom you're really connecting with. Verify, whether you're, connecting with them on a social media platform or on LinkedIn, wherever you're getting connected with them. And if they're sharing some information, if it's too good to be true, don't believe it. Test it 1,000 times. Only then start a conversation online. Thank you so much, ma'am. Let me invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Ms. Sonali Sarkar, the principal of Mahadevi Birla Shishu Vihar, Kolkata, West Bengal. Sonali, ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and a very warm welcome.
Very good evening to everybody present here. Almost many things have been already highlighted by my fellow speakers as we see that there's an increasing dependency with the digital platform. There is actually a sharp rise in the cyberbullying and the online harassment cases. And it is particularly for the young users. And these behavior actually inflicts a deep emotional and psychological impact. So, despite of this rising number of cases, as mentioned by Daksh, yes, cyberbullying remains as a hidden crime, and it is an unreported crime, I should say. I would like to state an incident that happened with a student of our school and how the school helped her cope with it, as well as the proactive step which the school took accordingly. So it is an incident about a 14 years old child who was very passionate about her artwork. She started sharing her sketches on the social media. But soon, what happened? Few anonymous accounts started mocking her work and with some cruel comments which started coming up. Then the bullying also escalated in the form of memes, and there were a few pictures which were posted. There were classmates who also joined in that. She felt humiliated and isolated. So she withdrew herself, she stopped drawing, and her grades started dropping, as well as there were certain signs of anxiety also we could see. So her parents noticed the changes, but they could not find out the root cause. So the class teacher then came and raised the concern about it, and the parents were called. The counselor met the parent, and after a few sessions, the child finally opened up about this cyberbullying. So now the counselor who immediately took some action. Firstly, she started giving emotional support through regular counseling sessions. There were a digital safety team which was formed. The team traced the anonymous accounts with the help of the local cybercrime authority. And then this incident became a catalyst for a change in the school. And we started taking few initiatives. That was firstly, we had started with an anonymous reporting portal for creating, which was created by the team where the students could report online harassment confidentially. Then we also did some digital citizenship workshops where for the students to teach them respectful online behavior, privacy, and the consequences of the cyberbullying. We also created a peer group, peer support group, which was led by certain trained senior students. And this group offered a safe space for the younger students to share their concern. Even the parents were inducted, and they were also educated how to monitor and support their children's digital lives. So later on, an art exhibition was organized in the school where her work was showcased. And this time it's appreciated by the students and the parents, which gave a boost to her morale and a confidence. So then she began drawing once again and even spoke at one of the school seminar and sharing her story to others. So this is what I just wanted to just to inform all of you. And these things are actually increasing, and my fellow mates have already informed how it can be reported. Cybercrime and online harassments can be reported.
Thank you so
very
much,
much.
Sonali ma'am. And what a simple real life story can do, a lot of conversation cannot. So this cause and effect relationship, the way you telling the story out there, I think this is essentially the backbone of whatever we are really talking about. Humans believe a lot in stories. So if you have a case around you, if you can help people in some or the other way, make sure that if an improvement happens, if there's something good that happens, it reaches more people. Why is the Ramayana still alive? Why is Gilgamesh's story still alive? It's simply because humans believe in stories. So if you have a story like this, preserve it, publicize it, take it to the maximum people possible, and you don't know, just subliminally, the conversation will start. People will come out and they'll start speaking. Thank you so much, Sonali ma'am. Let me now invite the next speaker. But before I do that, now is the time to listen to teenagers. What's their opinion on all of this? Are the adults really thinking it right? Or there's something that they would want to add to it? Is it something that we are missing? Or are we all thinking in the right direction? Let's try to know from the teenagers. A very warm welcome to Miss Alina Abid, who's a grade 8 student from Lucent Global School, Anantnag, Jammu and Kashmir. Alina, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and a very warm
Greetings, everyone. Myself, Alina Abid from Grade 8, Lucent Global School, Jammu and Kashmir, India, an influencer at the 4th World Team Parliament. Today, I want to speak about something invisible yet louder than any noise. Cyberbullying. It doesn't leave bruises, but it does leave scars. It doesn't break bones, but it breaks confidence. And for many teens, it's not just an online issue, it's an everyday reality. So, what do we do when words online start cutting deeper than the knives? Well, we do not stay silent. We take steps. So one, treat words like fingerprints. Every cruel text, post, or message is evidence. Screenshots, links, chat logs, collect them. Because just like in a crime scene, fingerprints are proof, these things are going to help you. Step 2. Don't just block, report. Every app gives us a report button. Think of it as pressing the alarm bell in a crowded street. You're alerting the system that something wrong is happening here. Step 3. Find your local shield. In India, we have the cybercrime.government.in portal and helpline 1930. Outside the India, every country has its own hotline, portal, or cyber cell. Find yours, note it down, and share it with friends. Because awareness is the first step to defense. Step 4. If danger feels close, don't wait for the internet to solve it. Walk to a trusted adult, a teacher, or the police. Sometimes the bravest click is asking for help offline. If you report, you stop the bully, you protect yourself, and you protect someone who could have been next. But what happens if you don't? Well, you hand power to the troll. You give silence, which is exactly the oxygen they need. And remember this, bullies don't just want attention, they want control. Reporting isn't just defense, it's resistance. It's saying you'll not control my story. So the next time you see the hate online, don't scroll past. Don't think someone else will save it. Be the one who handles it. Because every report is more than just a complaint. It's a message that dignity matters, that kindness matters, and that no bully, no matter how loud, can silence a brave voice. The internet is our generation stage. Let's make sure it's a stage for courage, not cruelty.
Thank you so much, Alina. I think that's the way most of the social media platforms, most of the open source software, and that's the way internet really was born. When people started taking care of each other on basically Ethernet, that's where internet really was born. That when we'll all come together, when we'll put things open source, there will be some good people at the end of it who'll take care of each other. That's the premise of the internet. Let's go back to it. If you really want a safe internet, we'll all have to play an active role in it. Thank you so much, Alina. Let me invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to again Miss Alina Ejaz, who's again a grade 8 student from Lucent Global School, Anantnag, Jammu and Kashmir. Alina, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and a very warm welcome.
Thank you, sir. Greetings, everyone. I am Alina Ejaz from grade 8, Lucent Global School, Jammu and Kashmir, India, and influencer at the 4th World Team Parliament. It's a pleasure and an honor to be part of the Blub World Web Talks. We often hear the same advice when it comes to cyberbullying. Block, ignore, tell your parents. But here's the truth. Ignoring has never actually stopped a bully. Reporting cyberbullying is not just about silencing trolls, it's about reclaiming our digital space. And that requires new ways of thinking. First of all, document like a journalist, not like a victim. Take screenshots, record timestamps, and save URLs. Every online insult or threat is a digital footprint. Evidence is our shield. Without evidences, reporting often collapses into he said and she said. Second, use the system against them. Every social media platform, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X, has grievance tools. But here's the secret. Use their own rules and policies in your report. Platforms face legal and reputational risk. So when you speak their language, your complaint carries real weight. Third, go beyond borders. Yes, in India, we have cybercrime.gov.in. In the US, there is stopbullying.gov. In the Europe, GDPR protects digital dignity. In the Middle East, cyber harassment is punished by strict laws. In short, wherever you go, there is always a reporting group, but only if you know where to look. So schools should create a global cyber first aid kit. QR codes, hotline numbers, and reporting portals for different regions. Imagine every classroom being equipped with that. Fourth, make reporting a community habit, not a lonely act. Bullies thrive on silence, but when schools and teens pledge, I will not forward hate, I will report it. Suddenly, the balance shifts. Reporting becomes an act of solidarity, not weakness. And finally, build your own digital reputation as an art. A single troll cannot destroy a strong online identity. When teens flood the internet with art, ideas, projects, and authentic voices, we reduce the power of negativity. Reporting cyberbullying is important, but outshining it with our creativity is equally powerful. So, my message is that don't just block and cry. Report like a journalist, demand action like a lawyer, and above all, rise like a creator. Cyberbullying is not just teenage drama, it's a global crime. And when teens start treating it like that every way, we won't be just safe online, but we'll be unstoppable. Thank you.
So much, Alina. Thank you. I think a good suggestion for all the schools here, let's create a digital first aid kit for everyone. How to report? How do you really become a critical player in sanitizing the internet? Let's bring a little more of sanity back to the internet, and only the future generation or the teens can really do that. If you want to claim the internet, make sure that you report everything that you don't feel is in the right sense and is there on the internet. Thank you so much, Alina. Let's invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome, Ms. Simran Jain, who's a grade 12 student from Candor International School from Bengaluru, Karnataka. Simran, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and a very warm welcome.
Namaste to everyone present here today. I am Simran Jain, a member of parliament at the 4th World Teen Parliament. Can you imagine living without the internet? Think about it. No Google, no WhatsApp groups, no Instagram. The truth is, our lives are so global and connected that the internet has become like oxygen. We don't notice it, but we can't survive without it. But with this digital world also comes a darker side, cyberbullying. Cyberbullying today looks like abusive messages, fake accounts, rumors being spread, stalking, or even private photos being shared without consent. What happens online is very real, and the law in India recognizes that. Under the Information Technology Act 2000 and the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, these are specific provisions. For example, Section 66D of the IT Act deals with cheating using computers. Section 67 punishes the sharing of obscene content. And the BNS has Section 78 for stalking, Section 351 for criminal intimidation, and Section 356 for online defamation. So what can you do if it happens to you? Step 1, save the evidence. Take screenshots, save links, emails, or chats. Without proof, it's like trying to report a theft without showing what was stolen. Step 2, report on the platform. Instagram, X, YouTube, every platform has reporting features. Use them, they do work. Step 3, go official. India has the National Cybercrime Portal. Anyone can file a complaint, and for women and children, there's even an option to stay anonymous. You can also go to your nearest police station and file an FIR. Cyberbullying has its own cyber cell and will be taken seriously. Step 4, contact helplines like 1930 for cybercrime and 1098 for women and children. They are available for immediate support. And finally, prevention. Strong passwords, private accounts, and a simple rule: block and report, don't engage. Oversharing online is like leaving your house unlocked. It just makes things easier for the wrong people. The key message is this: reporting isn't just about you. By speaking up, you also protect others who might face the same harassment tomorrow. So next time, remember, screenshot, report, and move on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Simran. I think all the teenagers took us through a completely new part of this conversation, that reporting is the real weapon that you have in your hand, rather than just, filing a complaint on whichever platform you are. Whatever you think is not there for the right reasons, report that onto that respective platform. You don't know that one single report could really trigger a conversation, could really trigger a lot of blockings happening over the internet and bringing sanity back. So listen to all the speakers today. Some of you might have been muted, some of you might have got all the time to speak. Now, for the next 2 to 3 minutes, we have an open floor. If you have a concluding statement to say and you want a minute to say it out loud, just raise your hand and I invite you next. Now, over to Mr. Deepu for his closing thoughts, and then we'll move on to the other speakers. If they have anything more to say, just raise your hand and I'll invite you next. Deepu, sir, over to you.
Yeah, just in the morning today, I was, also going through the news channel, and I could see that New York has introduced a new law where they are making kids below a certain age away from the algorithm-based, uh, algorithm-based. Uh, I would rather call it as a trap, which they do it on Instagram and on every social media handle, not just on Instagram, everywhere else also. I think that's one of those things which we should introduce in India also, because whatever you say, these things also have a kind of effect on students where the more you control, the kind of control that we all have been talking about, it's very difficult. It's difficult not in just in terms of self-control, but also peer pressure, and there are so many other things also. And like I said initially also, they should be made more aware about the value of the term privacy, that how people who have lost privacy today feel that, this is not exactly how it is meant to be. I was also reading on the internet about the certain individual from Gwalior. Her name is Tanya Mittal, and what she has been up to on the Big Boss, and how she is, the way she has been. You won't call it bullying because she's publicly there and she's saying things. Those influencers, the case of Samay Raina, which came to the fore, and then it blew out of proportion. There are so many cases which also makes me wonder that uh, the time to deliver justice will also become so much difficult in such cases, because there will be also both sides of the stories. And having dealt with these both sides of the stories, you cannot hold one side guilty in all terms. And that's how our legal system is also. So, like Arup sir said, prevention is also very important. We should also inform the kids about the value of privacy and how not everything is very important on the internet. Now you could see how are you going to coordinate and how are you going to express this to the next generation, as well. The next generation themselves has to do it, because we are also facing a situation in Nepal. If you could see it, what is happening? They tried to ban the social media all of a sudden, and all hell broke loose. So you cannot do it like that. But at least for the coming generations, like Australia came out with a law about regulating social media for the youngsters, something needs to be done so that bullying, yeah, we can regulate it, but more than that, how would how are you planning for the next generations to come? That is the most important thing here. And I'm very happy to hear the young Turks, speaking those things. I hope you guys follow it also. So, that's the most important thing. And you also push it to your peers also. And that's something which I think is going to really work wonders for the coming generations. Because if you see ours is just spoiled. I have also shared a lot of pictures online. So I'm no saint here to, give these kind of pravachan and say, yeah, this is how it's going to be. So, yeah.
You're very right. I think an important point that you brought forth that should be remembered is, even when you report something like this, and if something goes into court and you get into a litigation, the concept of jurisprudence makes it very difficult to make somebody, a black and white criminal in a cyber crime case. It's very difficult even for the courts to do that. And when they cannot declare somebody as a criminal, the effectivity of the law is nearly lost. So you have to understand this. Cyber law, as far the concept of jurisprudence goes, is not very fair when it comes to trial. So there is a lag there that you might have to experience if you go into the reporting or the regulation part of it. So try to be as preventive as possible. And what you mentioned, I think everyone must understand, if you're an Indian citizen, your constitution gives you a fundamental right of privacy. Don't waive it off for social media. You're just waving off your right of privacy because there's a social media that's ready to post your pictures. So look into that again. We have some more minutes, so let's go to Bidin Mala, ma'am. Ma'am, over to you for the next minute for your closing thoughts.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. So I would like to say what all my fellow people said today to sum it up. Yes, the things are, it's a part of their life. They will be in cyber world. Bullies are nobody else. Like sir said, you cannot identify in black and white if this is crime done and you cannot punish it. Yes, that is true. Bullies are also part of the same life only. So we need to take care of both of them. So the step starts with awareness. Inform them what is bullying. The bully also needs to know that this is what I am doing, which is hurting, and this is the effect of that. That also reduces the system of bullying in itself. And obviously, for everything, it goes ahead. Speak up. Speak up for yourself. Speak up for your dignity. Speak up for the others if you find something wrong is going on. Be a team. Work ahead. Keep evidences. Don't run away. Don't ignore. Keep all the things and report in all the places where you can. It's not just go to the court, but report everywhere. And to the teenagers, my word is we are always with you. We will believe you. You come forward. Whatever is done, wrong or right, we are there to help you out of that. Let's go ahead with this together.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think important aspect that you brought forth, even a bully must be taught and made aware that yes, this is bullying. Because in the school ecosystem, it's very important, even for the antagonist to know that yes, you are the antagonist and there's somebody else who's the protagonist. So know that this is something that must not be done. Over to Deepa, ma'am, for her closing thoughts. Ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Yes, so one point which I would like to add here is when we talk about the word privacy with our teenage kids, there's a difference of mama mujhe privacy chahiye and sitting inside the room and sharing the whole, the network and website, their photos and things, and the actual privacy that they need to follow, wherein they should stop sharing their private information outside. So this is two worlds that we need to handle, where one differentiates the privacy with the parents and known ones, where you have to actually share what is happening with you out there, and the privacy which you have to protect, from the outside world. So this is a challenge we all, educators and parents have to deal with. However, awareness is the only key to whatever we are handling as of today, and acceptance that it has happened and guiding them to the right direction. So that's what I would like to conclude. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deepa. Privacy from the parent and typically exposing everything to the world. We can see a lot of reels being made from washrooms nowadays. So please don't do that. If you want, first respect your own dignity and privacy. It'll make your life easier in the future ahead. Arup sir, over to you for a minute for your closing thoughts.
Yeah, now after going through the whole meeting, I would like to summarize it with abbreviation STOP, STOP, where I will say S for save the evidence, whatever screenshot, images, text. T, talk to the parents, talk to your teachers, talk to the experts. That's a very important thing, digital experts. Then O, you must offer help. That is a very important, that we should be ready to help each other. And finally, in India, from the smallest thing to the largest, we have to go to the police. How effective, less effective, we do not know, but that is the final way of when anything goes beyond the level. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Arup sir. I think a very apt conclusion to this conversation would be the teens who might face cyberbullying, the people who might face cyberbullying, go back to the internet for searching for all the options available to them. Don't even rely too much on the AI bots, the kind of suggestions they might be giving to you. There's a small little example that I was hearing today. It was a conversation between certain AI scientists talking to each other, and they gave a very simple example. Think of two people, A and B, giving a general knowledge test. Both of them score the same. Whom do you think is more intelligent? Nobody knows. We think yes, A and B, both of them are intelligent. Just let me give you a small little twist. A gave the test while sitting in library. B gave the test in isolation. Now who's more intelligent? You still don't know. Most of the AI that we currently use is basically a fast lookup. It's not intelligent. It's just a very fast search engine that collaborates information, quickly searches it and gives you a response. Just go and read the disclaimers of these bots. None of them take responsibility for the content that they're sharing with you. Start believing more on humans around you and start believing less on the internet. Thank you so much, everyone. This was the Blub World Web Talks 265th episode. I hope you enjoyed. Make the conversation. Go ahead. Don't leave it just here. Thank you so much, everyone. Namaste, and hope to see you soon again. Goodbye.